Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. When I started working on this video, I thought that I was going to do another Hey Best Decks Are Here video with a bunch of decks that are fun and new and from the mini set, and then Blazing Transmutation happened. So yeah, the meta is now dominated, clearly dominated by one single deck, and that deck is Evolve Shaman. And this Evolve Shaman list is the best list at the moment. Of course, there are lots of variants, so Evolve Shaman players are still trying to figure out how to best beat other Evolve Shaman players, so we probably will see some development already tomorrow, the days after. But the combination of Blazing Transmutation and Gold Shine All is just, it's overpowering. Evolve Shaman has no big weaknesses, it has some minor weaknesses, but for the most part Evolve Shaman dominates over all of the meta. Blazing Transmutation is even stronger than I expected, and I expected it to be strong. But to be this strong, and like, I don't understand how this could happen, because this is just adding Blazing Transmutation to an existing deck. Blizzard, they could play with these cards. They should have known just how strong it is. There's nothing new and inventive here. It's just plain old Evolve Shaman with that new card that makes it so much better. And yeah, it's completely taking over the game. What else can you play if you don't want to play Evolve Shaman? I was trying to make a top decks video, remember, but Evolve Shaman is like 5% points better than anything else on the ladder, so yeah, you kind of want to play that. What would you play if you wouldn't play Evolve Shaman? You would most likely play Unholy Death Knight. Unholy Death Knight is clearly the second best deck in the game. Like, Evolve Shaman is 5% points above Unholy Death Knight is like 2% points above the rest. And these are huge differences when these are population level statistics, like, whoa. Unholy Death Knight. What happened with Unholy Death Knight with the mini set? Well, Construct Quarter happened. Destroy a friendly minion to summon a 4/5 undead with Rush. And Mistake didn't find a place in Unholy Death Knight. Instead, Foul Egg found a place in Unholy Death Knight. I didn't see that coming, but I probably should have, because it all makes sense. Foul Egg now, with the Quarter, there's enough synergy. You can destroy a Foul Egg with the Quarter, you can buff it with the Skeletal Sidekick. If you don't play it first, you can play Arms Dealer into Foul Egg. So you have a bunch of ways to activate your Foul Egg. Also, of course, there's always the threat of Grave Strength. There's the Hawkstride Rancher. But now Foul Egg finally has enough ways also to activate it after it has been played. Most of the ways to activate it before have been like, you need to play this card first and then you can play your Foul Egg. And that sort of doesn't work that well. But now Foul Egg on the board is a threat. So Foul Egg, Construct Quarter, Unholy Death Knight, clearly the second best deck in the game. And, well, surely there's something that can be done. And there is kind of something. Because both of these decks, the only vulnerability they share, the matchup between these two is 50-50. It's dead even. Unholy Death Knight or Evolve Shaman. But both of them do share a bit of a weakness to control decks. We're even seeing Control Warrior sometimes being played in Legend. Okay, that's probably a bad idea, because some other decks are also still seeing play. We are seeing Quest Priest, we are seeing Control Priest, we are seeing Blood Death Knight. There's a whole bunch of Blood Death Knights around. Blood Death Knight is not doing terribly right now. However, it looks like the best control deck at the moment is Control Paladin. And this list is doing the best at the moment, but there's quite small sample sizes, so maybe a regular old school Control Paladin could do fine, but this is the Dragon Control Paladin. Either way, both of them have equality. And it turns out that if your opponent has a Thaddeus in play in like turn 4, then having an equality in your hand is a pretty good idea. Or sometimes they might have it on turn 2, and then having equality is even better, because then your other options are very, very limited. So yeah, the meta. I hope to be able to make like a best decks video during the weekend. Maybe there's some sense is going to come into this. But this mini set has been... Saying the word disaster is it too strong? Definitely the strength of Shaman has been unexpected and greatly beyond anything that one could find reasonable. And also, it doesn't look like Shaman has that great weaknesses. Like, if you go to, like, Platinum, the Shaman matchup against this Control Paladin deck, it starts to be like 51-49. Yeah, it's not even that favored. It's not a hard counter, but we'll see. Anyway, the mini set is here. You probably want to be playing Evolve Shaman. If you don't want to play Evolve Shaman, you probably want to play Unholy Death Knight. If you really don't want to play either of those, you can try various control decks, and it looks like the best control deck that you can try right now is Paladin. So that's my brief meta report for the early days of Return to Naxxramas. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.